Welcome to our latest Pictures by PC CAD CAM presentation. Here we're going to show in the presentation how we can use our CAMsmart automated machining technology to program an imported step model from the customer. So if we just rotate this here, we can see that the orientation of the model is actually okay in X, Y, and Z. That's not always going to be the case. You're going to get models that aren't correctly orientated. So what I've done, I've just rotated that around just to show you that we can use an automatic alignment function to align that, realign that to X, Y, and Z and to the 0 position. Okay. We'll turn the display of the table off. Bearing in mind that this is an imported step model, we can still make changes to this. So we can use our our direct modeling functionality to, for example, here move the pocket 5 mm, or we could decide to move the group of holes maybe a little bit further, 15 mm. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a window selection here to select the holes, move those. If we wanted to maybe totally remodel this, so remove the pocket and remodel this, we could actually remove the surfaces on the step model and then make the appropriate changes. We're going to keep that though. So this is going to be machined from plate material. If it's on a vacuum table, we could profile around the side here, full depth, and the part's going to stay in position obviously. If we didn't have a vacuum table, we'd possibly need to tag this. So I'm just going to quickly interactively position some tags. The software can do this automatically, so create a set number of tags along a profile or with a set distance. Those point markers for the tabs we're just going to group together and give a new name. Okay. And then let's look at the automated machining. So just very briefly, in the settings here, we could see we could automatically create stock material. We've got stock material in this case. We can decide up to what size of hole we're going to drill this or mill this. And then we've got the specific milling operations, face milling, border machining. The most important part is this settings data here, or settings file. And this outlines what machining strategies and tools are used for a specific size of feature. So for example, for closed pockets here, we can determine the tooling relating to minimum radius distance. And in this case here, we've chosen a strategy for roughing rest material finishing with a diameter 2 and 1 tool. This is everything that the customer can change with their tooling. We've said, for example, that machining around the border, we wanted to machine with tags, so we've got this saved in the settings data. Okay, and it's fully customizable by the customer. Okay, so let's start the automated machining. This is going to look at or look for prismatic features such as pockets, open pockets, closed pockets, stepped pockets, slots, holes, blind, through, countersunk, counterbored, multiple stepped holes. We can determine relating to the size of the hole here, if it's going to receive, if it's just going to be drilled, if it's going to be drilled and tapped, if it's going to be reamed. All of this can be determined from the geometry itself. So we've got probably quite a few holes here. We'll see in a moment, maybe 100 or so holes. Let's have a look. So it's still running the feature recognition and assigning the appropriate tooling. So there we've got 229 holes, quite a few. Good. So let's look at the features from the bottom. We've got some pockets from the bottom, blind holes from the bottom. I don't want to machine these. I want to do everything from the top at the moment. So I'm just going to sort the operations, and basically it's sorted these now in a specific direction. So all of the ones from below, operations from below, I can remove. The face milling I don't actually need either for the plate material machining. Okay, so we'll simulate this. So we can see we've got the holes, the pockets, we've got the tags here, for example. So that's tagged that correctly at the positions we wanted. Then we're going to select a post processor to output this. Basically the post processor selection is at the end. So we can choose a controller, we can generate the NC program, and then we can actually choose a total or repost this for a totally different machine without having to change any of the operations. So I'm going to use a Heidenhain controller here, and then we'll repost this for the Heidenhain. Okay, and then it's also going to create an NC data sheet. So basically this is a PDF. Good to zoom, I should have changed here. This is a PDF showing the parts, 0 point, controller, tooling, operations, machining time. Okay, so that's done for that. Also, as a user, you want full control over the operation. So at any point you could come in here, look at an operation and say, well, actually we need a larger tool here. Maybe with a larger tool we can machine the full depth. So we're going to edit the operation and we're going to select maybe a larger tool here. So NMIL 12, let's change this at the top in the title. Maybe we select a different strategy. So I'm going to machine this using high performance cutting. And then we show that again. Yep, so you've got full control over each operation, the tooling and the strategies. And there we've got the part machined. So thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye out for the next videos, and if you've got any questions, yep, please contact us. Thank you very much.